Hey, Celtics Nation. We're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Boston Celtics. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. This way, you'll always stay up to date and never miss out on any exclusive news. The sports world is buzzing in a way that hasn't been seen in years, and the epicenter of the storm is none other than Kevin Durant, whose name has become synonymous with both brilliance and controversy in the NBA, and now, according to whispers and inside sources that are slowly leaking to the media, Durant is reportedly closing in on a deal with the Boston Celtics. A move that would instantly send shockwaves through every franchise, fan base, and analyst room from coast to coast. Because if true, this would not just be a simple free agent signing, but a seismic shift in the balance of power in the league, a moment that could redefine championship dynamics for seasons to come. And even though no official confirmation has been made, the chatter on social media, cryptic posts from insiders, and hushed tones during podcasts are enough to make even the most casual fan sit up and question everything they thought they knew about this year's NBA landscape. Because the Celtics, historically one of the most prestigious and demanding franchises, suddenly become the epicenter of a narrative so dramatic that it feels ripped straight out of a Hollywood script, and the implications stretch far beyond just the hardwood. If the deal is finalized, the Celtics would gain a player whose offensive arsenal is almost unmatched in the modern era, a forward whose combination of size, skill, and scoring efficiency allows him to dominate games in ways few can even conceptualize, and the ripple effect on team chemistry is the subject of endless speculation, because adding someone like Durant isn't just about numbers on the stat sheet. It's about ego management, leadership dynamics, and the challenge of integrating a superstar into a system that already boasts talent, cohesion, and high expectations, while simultaneously managing the pressure of media scrutiny and the weight of history. Because Boston fans are notoriously unforgiving when it comes to losing seasons or underperforming stars, and the conversation now stretches into arenas far beyond Boston, as other contenders, from the Eastern Conference to the Western Conference, must suddenly recalibrate their championship projections, strategies, and trade scenarios in real time. A domino effect that could see veteran players reconsidering their futures, young talents being moved, and coaches scrambling to adjust rotations, all because the rumored arrival of Kevin Durant has the potential to turn a historically disciplined franchise into the epicenter of an unprecedented basketball spectacle. A scenario that insiders can barely contain their excitement about, yet also fear. The speculation surrounding Durant's potential signing has ignited debate across every imaginable platform, from sports radio waves to Twitter threads that spiral into endless theory crafting, because fans are dissecting every minor leak, every body language clue, and every cryptic Instagram post from agents, team executives, and Durant himself, trying to predict not only the impact on the Celtics starting lineup, but the philosophical shift in how Boston approaches big game moments, especially considering Durant's legacy, which is already marked by championships, MVPs, and signature performances in arenas across the globe. A legacy that will either be elevated or challenged, depending on how he adapts to a system known for its structured offense, deep-rooted traditions, and intense media spotlight, while the Celtics brass are likely weighing every metric imaginable, from PER to win shares to intangible factors like locker room culture. Because a move of this magnitude isn't just transactional, it's transformational, capable of altering the narrative of the NBA for years. And the sheer audacity of Boston pursuing Durant, if verified, is enough to make skeptics pause, analysts scramble, and fans dream. Because this is the type of move that, regardless of outcome, will dominate conversations, podcasts, highlight reels, and debate panels for months, keeping the rumor mill alive and the excitement at a fever pitch, all while Durant himself remains enigmatic, letting the anticipation build. Sources hint that negotiations have been quietly intense, with agents, front offices, and stakeholders engaged in discussions that have apparently spanned weeks, balancing contractual nuances, opt-out clauses, and potential long-term ramifications. Because signing Durant is far from a straightforward process, it's a high-stakes chess match where every move can have ripple effects across the league. From salary cap implications to trade exceptions, and from future draft flexibility to immediate on-court chemistry, and the Celtics reportedly are willing to restructure contracts, explore creative cap solutions, and even make personnel adjustments to accommodate one of the most prolific scorers in NBA history, a strategy that signals both ambition and desperation in equal measure, because acquiring Durant would not just enhance their chances to contend. It would announce to the league that Boston is willing to pivot aggressively, challenge conventions, and seize opportunities that others might consider too risky, and the timing of this potential move, coinciding with other roster shuffles, playoff outcomes, and impending free agency, adds layers of complexity, intrigue, and drama, feeding the fire of speculation, while commentators dissect potential lineups, defensive schemes, and offensive efficiency models, all the while pondering the human element. How Durant, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown might coexist under pressure, and whether egos, habits, and historical narratives can blend into a championship-caliber synergy. Meanwhile, fans across social media platforms are erupting with a mix of disbelief, excitement, and anxiety, crafting memes, hypothetical scenarios, and trade rumors that range from the plausible to the absurd. Because in the age of digital speculation, every leak, hint, or even ambiguous tweet becomes a piece of the puzzle in a sprawling narrative that transcends the court, impacting not just betting lines, fantasy leagues, and media coverage, but the emotional lives of millions of supporters who suddenly find themselves daydreaming about finals matchups, potential triple-doubles, and buzzer-beater moments that feel almost surreal, while simultaneously debating whether this signing, if confirmed, would finally cement Durant's legacy as a transformative superstar capable of thriving in any system, or whether it represents another chapter in a career marked by both brilliance and controversy. And the irony is not lost on observers that such a historic shift could occur quietly, amidst whispers, leaks, and speculation, in a world where social media amplifies rumors into breaking news, creating an environment where anticipation itself becomes a spectacle, and the Celtics, intentionally or not, have inserted themselves into the center of a story that will dominate headlines, cable shows, and online discourse, blending sports, entertainment, and narrative drama in a way that leaves everyone, from casual viewers to die-hard analysts, hanging on the edge of their seats because the Durant to Celtics rumor has, in essence, become the story itself, pulsating with tension, speculation, and impossible-to-ignore magnetism. Even as skepticism remains, the sheer plausibility of Durant choosing Boston fuels endless debates, because every angle, from championship contention to market appeal, from coaching philosophy to legacy considerations, offers tantalizing reasons for both excitement and caution, and the beauty of rumors like this lies in their ability to dominate imagination, create conversations across time zones, and shift the lens through which fans view every other NBA move, as if every draft pick, trade, or coaching change now exists in relation to the possibility of Durant in green and white, a dynamic that analysts describe as both exhilarating and nerve-wracking, considering the intensity of Boston's fan base, the weight of historical expectations, and the cultural significance of adding a superstar to a storied franchise. Because in sports, as in life, timing, ambition, and opportunity intersect in ways that can redefine trajectories, rewrite legacies, and inspire narratives that endure far beyond the immediate headlines. And the Durant rumor is a perfect storm, a swirling combination of talent, ambition, drama, and human fascination, creating a storyline that feels almost cinematic, leaving everyone, from journalists to casual fans, speculating, imagining, and anticipating with an intensity that only a potential super team, a legendary scorer, in a city steeped in basketball tradition could generate, while the NBA itself watches closely, knowing that the next few weeks could reshape its entire competitive landscape. The potential arrival of Kevin Durant in Boston has ignited a cascade of strategic recalculations across the NBA, because franchises in both conferences are now forced to reconsider not only their immediate championship aspirations, but also their long-term planning, as the Celtics' rumored acquisition changes the competitive landscape in ways that affect draft strategies, player development priorities, and even marketing narratives, while rival teams scramble to anticipate how Durant's presence might influence rotations, spacing, and defensive matchups, considering that a player of his caliber can single-handedly alter the tempo and style of play, forcing opposing coaches to innovate on the fly. And while analysts debate whether this move would transform Boston into an unstoppable juggernaut or create internal tension among established stars, the public fascination continues to build, because the story of Durant potentially joining the Celtics is more than basketball. It is a narrative that touches on history, rivalry, legacy, and the human element of sports, highlighting the unpredictability of professional leagues, the intricate balance between talent and teamwork, and the allure of superstars whose decisions can captivate millions, drive ticket sales, and dominate headlines, ultimately making every practice, trade discussion, and press conference a potential piece of a larger saga that fans and pundits are dissecting with relentless curiosity. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Insiders suggest that Durant's rumored move could trigger a chain reaction of trades, as teams look to either strengthen their rosters in anticipation of facing a reinforced Celtics or reposition assets to attract other superstars who can match Boston's firepower. Because in today's NBA, one blockbuster signing rarely exists in isolation, instead creating a domino effect that can influence multiple franchises, roster structures, and even coaching decisions, as well as the psychological dynamics among players who suddenly see their paths to the finals shift dramatically, while fans on social media speculate endlessly about potential combinations, hypothetical lineups, and what-if scenarios, blending reality with fantasy in a way that fuels excitement and tension simultaneously. And the conversation extends beyond basketball, touching on celebrity culture, branding opportunities, and the marketability of a league star in a historic city, as marketers, sponsors, and even international audiences become invested in the unfolding narrative, because Durant in Boston is not just a rumor. It is a cultural phenomenon, a story that merges sport, spectacle, and anticipation, creating a sense of collective suspense that keeps analysts, commentators, and fans on edge, all while every subtle hint, quote, or leaked report becomes a new thread in a sprawling tapestry of speculation that shows no sign of slowing. Meanwhile, the Celtics' internal strategy appears to be equally layered, with front office sources hinting at careful planning to integrate Durant without disrupting existing chemistry. Because while the allure of a superstar is undeniable, balancing egos, expectations, and team culture is an intricate task, especially when dealing with players who have established leadership roles, strong personalities, and championship ambitions, while coaches must contemplate rotations, offensive schemes, and defensive assignments that accommodate a player who demands attention from every opponent, and the implications go beyond the court, affecting team morale, media narratives, and the perception of Boston as a destination city for elite talent, all while Durant himself navigates the pressures of a city with a passionate fan base, intense media scrutiny, and a tradition of excellence that magnifies every success, misstep, and rumor, because the human element cannot be overlooked in this unfolding drama, as the adaptation of multiple superstars within a storied franchise requires finesse, communication, and alignment of goals, and observers are captivated by the delicate balance of ambition and cohesion, imagining the possible triumphs, pitfalls, and iconic moments that could define this chapter of NBA history, while every insider report fuels speculation, debate, and anticipation at a level rarely seen in professional sports. Experts and commentators are already debating the long-term implications of Durant joining Boston, from playoff matchups to historical comparisons, because a move of this magnitude doesn't just impact one season. It potentially reshapes how future dynasties are formed, evaluated, and remembered, while fans weigh the odds of championships, scoring titles, and the personal legacy of Durant. Considering whether this is a career-defining decision or a high-risk gamble, and every stat, highlight, and historical precedent is being re-examined in the context of this rumored signing, as analysts attempt to model outcomes that involve chemistry metrics, positional fit, and playoff performance, while rival executives quietly adjust their strategies, projecting which free agents or trade acquisitions could counterbalance Boston's newfound potential. Because in a league driven by talent concentration, the addition of one superstar can ripple across decades of planning, affecting the trajectory of careers, the philosophy of coaching staffs, and the emotional investment of fans, who now feel a renewed sense of excitement, tension, and anticipation for what could become one of the most memorable and controversial chapters in the NBA's storied narrative. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.